Making their way to the cage, fighting out of the blue corner, Dr. Von Doom Edwards!
12 fights have been scheduled here tonight. We have already seen 8 of them. None of them have gone to the judges' scorecards. We have had a finish in each and every one except for one no contest that was in there as well. We'll see if that streak goes on our final amateur fight of the night. Dr. Von Doom Edwards fighting out of Kenosha, Wisconsin. What can you tell us about Von Edwards?
Yeah, no, he comes from, Rothwell MMA. Obviously, if you're from Wisconsin or you're a fight fan, you know Big Ben Rothwell. He's got Cody Lene in the corner with him. Cody is another guy that, he's on the verge, on the cusp of the Contender Series, potentially going to the UFC. Rothwell has a fantastic gym. Javon Edwards is a game opponent. He comes in, he fights hard, he fights, tenacious. He's taking on who I think is one of the, he's a quiet killer in Jeremiah Huff. I think Jeremiah Huff is a unique talent, and it's going to be interesting to see how this fight plays out for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how you talk about that. So we saw like some really talented fighters pass through the chosen few gyms that were at the top of these cards for a while, and then went on to fight promotions like Bellator and LFA and the Professional Fight League as well on ESPN. But what we haven't seen is anybody kind of pick up the mantle from those guys. The baton hasn't been passed yet. But one of those guys I think that could possibly be that guy is Jeremiah Huff.
Yeah, no, Jeremiah Huff is. I think his last fight was against Tyler Peterick, or maybe he's had one since then. He ran right through him. And Peterick's fighting Sal Skiro tonight. Jeremiah Huff he's someone to keep an eye on for sure.
So Edwards in the cage, a record of 4-2, and here comes Huff, who has been a perfect fighter so far in his amateur career. 4-0 so far, as he looks to stay perfect. Well, you get to that 5-0, and we've seen in the past too, that's where Josh has said to guys that are 5-0 in their amateur career, maybe you're ready to take that next step on up. That seems to be the magic kind of number for a lot of the guys that we saw. It was that way for Polizzi and Gilpin. We saw guys at that point at 5-0 say, okay, I'll make
Yeah,
that
everybody's
step.
different, so it's like I said, Jerry does a great job at that.
Seems to know when they are ready to make that move to the professional ranks. Maybe this is one of those fights for both guys, whether it's Edwards or Huff, that says, you know what, if I'm victorious here tonight, maybe it's time to move up to those pro ranks. Why don't we go ahead and check out the tale of the tape between Edwards and Huff, a much anticipated fight tonight. And you see Huff sacrificing 3 inches of height to Javon Edwards. Huff steps into the cage, is ready to go, and that means that Ken is ready as well to introduce our combatants.
All right, how about a round of applause for our beautiful ring girls tonight? This is our 9th bout of the evening. 3 3-minute rounds in amateur MMA brought to you by Vortex Optics. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighed in at 170 pounds. Fighting out of Kenosha, Wisconsin, representing Rothwell, MMA LCCT, Dr. Von Doom Edwards. His opponent standing across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, also weighing in at 170 pounds. Fighting out of Madison, Wisconsin, representing Capital City MMA, along with chosen few fight team, Jeremiah Huff. Referee Tom DeValis.
In his ways, we are ready to go on what should be a big fight tonight. Everybody talking about this one, and we'll see if Huff can match the hype as well. Edwards coming out being active early on, using his hands to keep Huff at distance, as Edwards with a height advantage and reach advantage as well on Huff, and has been using that with both his hands and his legs so far early in round one.
Yeah, no, Huff's going to give up a little bit of height and probably a little bit of reach. I don't know if he's going to want to stand here and just exchange jabs with someone that's got a longer reach than him, but good plum right here.
Huff working his way inside now and going to the body of Edwards. Edwards had connected with a couple of overhand lefts. There's an overhand left by Huff. Uppercut just missed. That one connected. So Huff doing work with his hands and now going to the body of Edwards. I do like it when guys remember to go to the body. It's not always about headhunting in this game, especially if you expect the fight to go on for a while. Good overhand left again, as Huff doing a nice job with his hands, especially that left. That's a big left coming in there, just missed on an uppercut.
Yeah, he's really throwing that. If that lands, it's going to be big trouble for Edwards. But Edwards is firing back,
Good left by Huff, got him on the chin again, but Edwards eating some shots here and then responding with a counter. There's a counter left right there. A right got blocked, but the left connects, as does a right for Edwards. So good action here by both guys using their hands in round number one. Now using their hands to kind of grapple for position. One thing we're not seeing a lot of that we saw early in the round are kicks. I mean, they're almost non-existent at this point, as both guys are doing some boxing.
Huff's doing a good job of landing some shots to the body and then going to the head. You do that, you bring those hands down, leaves the head strikes open.
Pace slowing down just a bit here in the final minute of round number one, but both guys continuing to box it out. Good shot there by Edwards, using the jab to his advantage. Both guys using a southpaw stance here in round number one. Now Edwards changing up a little bit on that stance, and then they're both back to southpaw once again. Huff trying to land with combinations as both guys stand square to each other in the center of the cage. Good body work again by Huff. I do like that. I mean, used to hear George Foreman talk about the fact that those shots to the body, money in the bank, especially if the fight ends up going a few rounds here. Now some knees and some actual leg action from these fighters, and it's Edwards landing some late knees to finish up round number one. A spirited exchange from both fighters. We'll see if that can continue in our second round from Monona Terrace on Television Wisconsin. Peter, we had a lot of striking in round number one. How did you see that round?
It was a close round. I thought that Jeremiah landed more shots and the harder shots. I would give him the round 10-9. Lemminger's in the corner right now, telling him to make sure he's keeping his hands up, high above, his eyes, kind of that Nate Diaz defense there. But, both guys seem to be in good shape, and, they're ready for round two.
Both guys look like they want to continue boxing as well. We'll see if that continues. So come to an MMA fight and see some boxing break out between Huff and Edwards. Edwards using a jab early on in the second round. Now following up with a knee and a good left as he backs away as well. But Huff throwing the hands as a good exchange here, and it looks like Edwards got the better of that one.
Huff landed a nice uppercut early. Edwards is, landing more punches this round, which is good.
Thing about boxing like this, I mean, after a while, if you get too comfortable doing it, and there it is, Edwards landing a kick, I would think you leave yourself susceptible to kicks at a certain point. If you get too comfortable boxing, you also can be susceptible to this. And Huff doing a nice job of saying, you know what, I'd like to see this go to the ground at least for a little while, and he scores a takedown.
Yeah, he scores some points, makes some, waste some energy to get back up. Doing a good job. Edwards is carrying his weight against the fence there.
So Huff right now kind of just leaning in Edwards. Edwards hunched over the top of him as you look to take some of the air out of Edwards. Both guys in a bit of a swing fight here. Both of them looking for their 5th victories of their amateur careers. As the crowd urging both of them on. We got some screamers here in the crowd as well. Doing a good job of staying vocal here at Monona Terrace.
Huge Jeremiah Huff fan to my right now.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. She's very vocal. As just over a minute left here in round number 2. The action kind of slowed down here a little bit. It was a bit of a tough pace for both fighters to be able to keep up, and they've gotten into a little bit of a stall / grapple here on the side of the cage.
You know, I'd like to see Tom step in here. You know, he's working now. He's working now, which is good.
And there you go, Huff, yeah, finally doing something, doing a good job of getting a takedown right now. But once again, it is Edwards back up on his feet.
And he's right back up.
Got there quickly. Huff with a couple of takedowns in the round that started off with a lot of boxing, at which point it seemed like Edwards was getting the better of Huff. Used a good jab and good combinations. Huff was trying to counter, but the height advantage and reach advantage for Edwards was evident. And so Huff decided, you know what, I'm going to take that away and start some grappling here and lean into you and try and take your air away. Now both guys back to boxing. Edwards trying to size up Huff. Huff doing a good job there of moving his head around as a final flurry right before the end of round number 2. Well, for the first time tonight, we're going to a 3rd and final round. How about that?
No, it's the fans have definitely been the winners tonight. You know, everyone loves to see finishes, whether it's submission, whether it's knockout. You know, we've had them all tonight.
Absolutely. We'll see if we get a finish or we finally go to the judges' scorecards when we return on Television Wisconsin. Good action in round number 2 as both fighters getting instruction from their corners. We'll check out the Floors for Less replays from action here in round number 2. And a good job by Edwards at the end to get back up on his feet, go back to boxing. But I like the defense there by Huff, as it looked like maybe he was doing some rope work there. You see boxers that end up doing that. It just teaches them, hey, you know what? You got to move your head. If your head is still, you become an easy target.
A lot of good head movement there, and then he landed right at the buzzer.
Head movement, right? Gabriel Sabatis next to me loves it, as mimicking me. I was kind of acting it out, you know. I know nobody could really see me doing it. As round 3 starts off with a flurry. Both guys throwing hands, throwing legs here to start off round number 3, and a good jab there once again by Edwards. Combinations now. Huff kind of rolls the shoulder, leans back, and now you see Edwards, his right eye kind of closed, squinting there, and I'm not sure.
He's got a nasty cut.
Yeah, so a cut right there has opened up around Edwards' eye, and man, oh man, a lot of blood coming from that right eye. That right eye is shut. That could be a serious problem, and I'm not sure our referee has taken notice quite yet of it. That's
that's right cut in the eye. Now that's going to be, you know, his vision. He's having a hard time seeing. It looks like Tom's going to get a better look at it here, and especially as the amateurs. You want to protect these guys as much as possible.
And I'm not sure if it came from a left hand from Huff or a headbutt or something in there. I do think it was a left that caught him. And now Edwards going down. And I tell you what, Edwards done a great job of staying with this fight and staying in it, continuing to throw and not make too much out of the eye. And he definitely had that eye closed, was squinting pretty hard and struggling here in the round, but right now is in a position where he could finish this fight maybe on Huff.
Edwards is looking for a Kimura here, but the problem is he's too close to the fence, and now he's got him.
Yeah, he's poking at that eye. That eye's in bad shape.
The eye's definitely in bad shape, but he's isolating an arm right here. Maybe he's going to try and look to finish it here.
Very impressive. Edwards has kept on going. Again, he's had to poke at that eye a couple of times. The eye's definitely shut and full of blood. His right eye in all kinds of trouble here. But speaking of trouble, Huff is also in trouble as Edwards climbs up on his back.
He's a little high on the back right now. 40 seconds left. He's going to have to pull something quick here. I mean, look at his eye.
Yeah, that is some serious damage that's been done, but our referee continues
He's
to
going to go for an armbar.
And there it is.
Now he's going to try. No. Nice job by Huff.
Yeah, kind of wriggling his way.
Oh, he's got the armbar again.
Huff again staying alive. I mean, amazing fortitude here by both fighters, and especially Edwards with that eye as in bad a shape as it is, continues to fight and might have even won round number 3 here, as that is the bell and the end of the fight. And for the first time tonight, we are going to go to the scorecards. We will have the decision, replays, and more right after this on Television Wisconsin. Dude, that was a lot of blood coming from that eye.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll wait for them to maybe stand up or something. Holy cow. Well, maybe it's not the eye itself.
All right, last round for the 50-50 raffle. And it's already over $1,000.
Both fighters putting on a good show here tonight between Huff and Edwards. Edwards getting that right eye kind of wiped off and checked on right now. Huff feeling victorious. We're going to go to the judges' scorecards first. Let's take a look at some replays here and action from the 3rd round. Huff in a bit of trouble, almost got caught in an arm bar. As you see the eye of Edwards right there, but Edwards continued to fight, continued to do work, and probably got the better of Huff in round number 3. Both fighters showing a lot of respect for each other before, during, and after this fight as well. A really good contest that I think is going to be close on the scorecards. We'll see if the judges saw it that way right now, as our ring announcer Ken Bostetter is back in the cage. And here we go.
For the first time tonight, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. Gabe Sabatis scores the contest, 29-28, Edwards. Larry Struck has it, 29-28, Huff. Mike Rogers scores the contest, 29-28, for your winner, fighting out of the red corner, Jeremiah Huff.
Huff was running around and smiling, thinking he was victorious, and indeed he was, in a split decision over the bloodied Von Edwards in a very close fight. What it means is Jeremiah Huff remains undefeated, is now 5-0, and let's hear what he has to say after this bloody fight.
Thank you so much, sir. Before I say anything, I have to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Without him, I wouldn't be here today. Without him, I would be nothing. Without him, I would be unredeemable. So if y'all out there and y'all struggling in your life, turn to Jesus Christ. I know you up here thinking, why is this kid preaching to us? Everybody preaching something. Preaching going out to the bar on the weekends. Preaching take your ass to school. Preaching anything and everything. Family first. Me, I decided to preach the gospel, baby. So if you out there and you're struggling, listen up, because that's the message. Thank you so much to all my family. Thank you so much to all my friends. Key Callie, and I see y'all popped out right there. I want to thank my dad, my mom, my stepmom, my stepdad. They love me. I got 4 parents for sure. It don't matter if they come from birth or not. I thank you to my brother Dion, always pushing me like, hey man, you better not let this dude beat you up, you know? My brother Elijah, I want to thank him. I know I got a lot to say, but I get so much support. Y'all see me right here today, it's because I got all this support and love. What you got for me?
Well, in the beginning, it looked like his ranginess, he's very long, was a little confusing at first.
Yes, sir. In the gym, everybody always say I'm really good at 2 things, head movement and body shots. So right then and there, that's all I tried to use. My boy Mark told me to come out, Damian Kane, say, hey man, you know you got them body shots, use them. They say he started the gas in the first round. He's a hell of a fighter. Take it from me. Y'all see me come out here, this is my 4th time. You know I'm damn good, but him right here, he a hell of a fighter. So Give him a props, please. Give him props. What else you got?
It was a great fight. That's all I got, man. It was a pleasure.
Hey, can I?
Jeremiah Huff not short on words or energy as he gets the split decision victory here in our final amateur bout of the night. When we come back, we go to the pros.
That's exciting.
Go. That is really good news right there as Huff
Make sure you get your tickets. It's going to be a hell of a show.
is going to get a chance to fight for the strap the next time he is in the cage. Josh Sterry just confirming that. All right, that was the last amateur fight. The pros are next here from Joseph Few Fighting Championships number 23 on TVW.